Good morning again, and welcome to everyone here in the room, as well as those watching our online streaming. Welcome to the extraordinary general meeting of the Projekt EGM. My name is Adam Kiciński, and I'm the co-chair of the Supervisory Board. And I hereby open the extraordinary general meeting of the Projekt convened as of today. That is the 11th of March 2026 at 10 a.m. Before we move on, let me ask a representative of the company managing the voting system to present the instructions for casting votes. Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You have received voting tablets once you've signed the attendance sheet. On the tablets now you can see two buttons. One of these marked your data. You have information on your representation in this particular general meeting, the number of shares and votes, and under the second button, described as documents, you have documents pertaining to this particular event, this session, this extraordinary general meeting. So, whenever the voting is not on, you can review these documents and their content. As to the vote casting system and process, once a vote is introduced, the tablets shift into the voting mode. Automatically, you will see decision buttons and you will select your decisions. In the next screen, you will see a summary of the decision you've taken, and then if everything is all right, you tap confirm and the vote is cast and registered in the system. If on the second step, someone realizes they have selected the wrong decision, they always can tap back, then select the right decision, and then in the next step, if upon verification everything is still all right, they can confirm and the tablet registers the votes, and we wait until the voting is over. Once the voting is complete, the results will be presented both on the screens and the tablets and read by the person managing the vote. Of course, the tablets allow for both confidential and non-confidential votes as required, so I wish you fruitful deliberation and thank you so much for your attention. Thank you. And let's start with this first item on the agenda, that is selecting the chair. Please propose your candidates. I would like to propose the candidate of our legal counsel, Agnieszka Kania, as the chair of our today's general meeting. Do you approve? Yes. Are there any other candidates? I can see none, so let's vote confidentially on resolution number 1 of the general meeting on the selection of Agnieszka Kania as the chair of this present general meeting. Please cast your votes. I can see that the voting has finished. I can see the results. We had 61,040,570 votes cast in favor. There have been no votes cast against and nobody abstained. Thank you so much for the votes cast. So resolution number 1 is hereby adopted. Agnieszka, my congratulations. And now if you could please chair the remaining part of the general meeting. Yeah, all right. Thank you for electing me. And let me start with asking for the attendance sheet. All right, thanks so much. The sheet is signed now, and we are able to move to item 3 on our agenda, that is determining that the general meeting has been validly convened and it's empowered to undertake binding resolutions. Under this item, let me indicate that at today's general meeting, according to Article 402.2 of the Commercial Companies Code, has been convened as required on the 23rd February 2026 in the required form involving reports 2/226 and 3/226. The first of these reports referred to formal convening of the general meeting, and the second contained draft resolutions proposed by the board. On the very same day of the announcement, the content of the reports has been published on the company's website, and the draft resolutions referenced here, apart from being published on the website, have also been provided to you on your tablets. As a result, unless there are any comments here, I will submit the resolutions in the content as presented in the documentation for voting, and I will not be reading their full content. At this point, let me also state that today's general meeting is being taken minutes of by Bartosz Łuszczak, our notary here in this room. In the meantime, I've also received a printout with the attendance of the shareholders reported. And in line with the information I've received, that today's general meeting has present or represented 61,040,570 shares and the same number of votes, constituting 61.09% of the share capital of the company. Let me also inform that some shareholders participate remotely in this general meeting. Hence, that today's general meeting of Projekt S.A. has been convened appropriately and is capable and empowered to undertake binding resolutions. Now we may move to item 4 on our today's agenda, that is the adoption of a resolution concerning approval of the general meeting agenda. Under this item, the board has proposed resolution number 2 on the adoption of the general meeting agenda. The content is in your materials, and it's going to be an open ballot with 3/5 majority required to adopt this resolution under the Articles of Association. Does anyone have any questions to this resolution number 2? There are none. So let us now cast the votes on resolution number 2 concerning approval of the general meeting agenda, and please cast your votes now. I can see that the vote has completed already, and in the open ballot, 61,040,570 valid votes have been cast. All of these were in favor. Hence, the resolution has been adopted unanimously. Thank you so much.
And now we may move on to item 5 of our agenda. And this is adoption of the resolution number 3 regarding the determination of earnings conditions for years 2026-2029 in the incentive program B. The content of this resolution is in your materials, and this resolution is about determining the financial results for 2026-2029. for the incentive plan B for the total amount of 5 billion zlotys. The justification is provided in the materials. This is going to be an open vote, and the majority that is required is 3/5 of all the votes, according to the statute of the company. Are there any questions or comments to resolution number 3? I cannot see any. I understand that there are no questions from the remote participants. Therefore, I call the vote on resolution number 3 regarding the determination of the earning conditions for years 2026-2029 in the incentive program B to the vote. Please cast your votes. Well, I can see that the vote has already been closed. The open vote on this resolution included 61,040,570 valid votes that were cast. In favor, 57,558,558 votes. Against, 3,482,12 votes. There were no abstaining votes. And therefore, I here assert that the resolution has been passed. Thank you for your votes, and we have exhausted the agenda for this extraordinary general shareholders meeting. Thank you for your participation, and I announce the closure of the general shareholders meeting. Thank you. Thank you.